Happy New Year from the Siegel Center. Almost tip-off time here between VCU and Gardner-Webb. Here are the starting lineups for the visitors. Gardner-Webb, Julian Samaro, followed by Quest Aldridge, our player to watch, DJ Nichols, Lucas Stieber, and also Ademide Badmus. And for VCU, a change to their starting lineup. Kwani into the starting five, along with Sean Bairstow, Zeb Jackson, Max Shoga, and Kristen Furman. Second straight game we've had a change in the starting lineup. Last game it was Michael Bell in place of Kwani. Today we got Kwani in the starting five.
Well, when you look at it, Kwani, he seems to be the better fit. He is the more experienced, seasoned player. And maybe they just need that for tonight's game. I know Coach Odom he's more of a gut feeling kind of coach.
3 wins in a row for VCU. That's a season high. And they've scored at least 75 points in each of those 3 wins. And if you go back to the Memphis game, their last loss, they've scored 75 or more in 4 straight games and 3 in a row of 80 or more before the game against Maryland Eastern Shore when they scored 75.
Well, that's what happens when you get your full team back, you know. Kwani started to come into his own, knocking down some shots. And now with Sean Bairstow and Joe Bamas all back, VCU is fully loaded and ready to go.
The officials this afternoon, Anthony Jordan, Ben Sturt, and Tony Edens, the starting 5. Good to have you with us here on the New Year's Eve of college basketball. And Gardner-Webb controls the opening tuck with DQ Nicholas running things, the transfer from Southeast Missouri State. One thing to watch for Gardner-Webb is how they will run their offense in the half-court set. Here's Stieber for 3, ring it up, and Gardner-Webb's off to a strong start.
And if you look at that offensive possession, they executed extremely well, causing VCU just to be a half step late, leading to an open shot.
Stieber shooting just under 30% from 3, and the Rams turn it over on their first possession. Stieber, the nephew of UVA head coach Tony Bennett.
Basketball runs in the family.
Yep. And the grandson of Tony's dad, Dick Bennett, who coached at Wisconsin and at Wisconsin Green Bay. Samaro falling away. Kwani grabs the miss. Here's Kwani. And VCU will set it up. Nice look inside to Furman.
Good job by Gardner-Webb.
Shoga for 3, ring it up.
Our player to watch, and that's what he does. You don't crowd his space, he will let it go.
He shoots 36% from 3 this year, first tie of the afternoon. Here's Nicholas off the screen. Bairstow the rebound. Playing in his 2nd game this season. Here's Jackson left open for 3. Ring it up. Back-to-back 3s for VCU, who collectively shoot just 33% from 3 this season. That was next to last in the A-10, but they look strong here in the early going.
And I expect that percentage to increase as the season goes on. Of course, with the new additions to the team.
Badness with a nice move inside against Furman.
That was smooth, lefty. Patience.
VCU up by 1. Furman lost it out of bounds. It will stay, though, with Gardner-Webb as Badmus touched it last. Zeb Jackson's 3 on that last possession. It matches his point total from the game against Maryland Eastern Shore. We was talking about the balance in that game. Jackson only had 3 points in that win. He's got 3 so far, and Shoga was trying to make it 6. And Nicholas up the floor quickly. Finds Caleb Robinson inside, and it spills off.
Good contest for VCU without fouling.
Rams up by 1. 3.5 minutes gone by. Bairstow with the mismatch on Aldridge. Shoga against Stieber. Tried to go behind the back, and Nicholas has it. Nicholas goes up against Jackson and draws the block on Zeb.
And that's what Gardner-Webb does extremely well. They like to get out in transition, really puts the pace of the game. And VCU better be careful with these turnovers. It will lead to points.
Well, that was a concern for head coach Ryan Odom. He said earlier this week that Gardner-Webb, as far as stats were concerned, the fastest team they will have faced to this point this year. And VCU has faced some quality teams in the non-conference schedule, but he gives Gardner-Webb that moniker of the fastest team to this point in the nation.
When I would play AAU, we would have teams like Gardner-Webb. We would call them Scat Cat teams.
Scat Cat.
Where they're not really that big. You look across their guards are all 6 foot, 6'2", 6'1". Even their fours like 6'4". But they're Scat Cat teams because they play so hard and they push the pace. And if you're not careful, no matter how much talent and etc. size you have, they'll come into play. And if you're not careful, they'll pull a win out.
Nicholas makes 1 of 2. First team all Big South preseason selection this year. Third leading scorer on the Running Bulldogs at just over 10 points per game. And we're tied at 6. Toby Lawal in for the first time to replace Christian Furman. Bairstow, little two-man game between the former Utah State players. Bairstow missed his first shot. Lawal the offensive rebound, and it spills off. And it was last touched by Toby. It will go back to Gardner-Webb.
In Gardner-Webb, on their side, they have to put a body on Toby Lawal, or he will live just off offensive rebounds. Got to put a body on him before the shot goes up.
He certainly brings that aggressiveness off the bench for Coach Odom this year. 6-6 tie, 4.5 minutes gone by. Here's Aldridge. And Robinson trying to go into the lane and found Quest Aldridge inside for his first 2.
And Gardner-Webb's movement on the offensive end is giving VCU some trouble, especially late in the clock.
Quest Aldridge, our player to watch, the transfer from Belmont Abbey in North Carolina, has given Gardner-Webb an 8-6 lead. The Rams have missed their last 4 shots from the field. Shoga for 3. And the rebound to Gardner-Webb as VCU has hit a cold spell from the field. And Robinson threw it out of bounds. And that brings us to our first timeout. 15:59 to go. And Gardner-Webb on the road has a 2-point lead. You're watching VCU basketball on Masson and on ESPN+. Here's a good look at Coach Odom's huddle. The head coach at VCU in his first season. 7-5 this year, but he's got 177 career wins and numerous stops. Like UMBC, Lenore Ryan, Utah State, and Charlotte. Made the NCAAs on 2 different occasions. And of course, we will never forget that win in 2018 as the head coach of Maryland-Baltimore County with a former VCU player on that team.
Yeah,
Mr. Lyles had a field day that night in Charlotte against UVA.
I really liked Jarius Lyles while he was here at VCU. It's unfortunate that he left, but he went on to do bigger and better things.
He will always be in the record books.
Absolutely.
With that team, Jarius Lyles. 8-6 Gardner-Webb lead. Jason Nelson in for the first time, as well as Joe Bamasil wearing number 22. Lawal going up against Badmus, who checked back in for Gardner-Webb. Under 10 to shoot for VCU. Lawal had a bounce off of Robinson's back, and Gardner-Webb gets another turnover.
Good defense by Gardner-Webb, just being in the right place at the right time.
Also, Taku Youngblood, wearing number 6, is in for Gardner-Webb. Coach Kraft mentioned us he would see more time this afternoon as they come in shorthanded as Caleb Robinson sinks a triple for Gardner-Webb, who has their largest lead this afternoon at 5.
Communication is going to be very important on the defensive end for VCU. There's a couple of times they keep getting distracted or miscommunications on the screens. What they're doing, are we switching? Are we going to pass it off? And Gardner-Webb is making a pay each time.
Bairstow gets to the rim and breaks an 8-0 Gardner-Webb run with his first basket. It's 11-8 Gardner-Webb lead. Youngblood, the young man from out of Japan, a transfer from Northern Illinois. And a reach in on Toby, and that's now 2 on Lawal.
Personal foul is charged to number 10, Toby Lawal. That's his first.
Well, check it, his first, I beg your pardon. Only his first.
Number 13, Lucas Stever returns to the Gardner-Webb lineup. He takes the place of
And even though Coach Odom has a deeper bench right now, one guy you would like to have on the floor regularly is Toby Lawal, as Youngblood off the inbound misses on the three.
And Toby Lawal is such a dynamic player.
Jackson lost it, and Gardner-Webb gets another turnover. That's 4 so far for VCU, and Toby Lawal showing that vertical leap, gets the block and forced the turnover.
Just like I said, he's such a dynamic player that he can make plays on either end. And right there, he goes up for a monster block that ends up landing on Samaro and bouncing out of bounds.
The block was so strong, the ricochet went off of Robinson when he was on the out of bounds, and that forced the turnover. Just Toby's activity cannot be coached as Bamisil misses on the three, and Samaro lets it go out of bounds. VCU so far just shooting 33% from the field, and Gardner-Webb right now at 44%, and they have a 3-point lead.
Now with that, VCU is getting good looks at the basket. They're just not knocking them down as of yet.
Here's Samaro going up against Nelson. Stripped away by Jason. Ball on the floor. Picked up by Batmus. His jump hook finds 2. And Batmus now has 4 for Gardner-Webb, and they're back up by 5.
Batmus is a big body.
6'7" from out of Lynn, Massachusetts. And Lawal's finish off his own miss cuts Gardner-Webb's lead to 3.
Might have gotten away with a basket interference there, but it was impressive nonetheless.
Fast Billups grabs the rebound off the Stever missed 3. Here's Bamisil going into the lane and draws the foul. Might have been on Youngblood of Gardner-Webb.
Great decision by Bamisil to actually attack the basket instead of hoisting up a 3 right there. And Toby Lawal did a really good job of sealing, giving him the lane.
We've talked so much about the activity of Toby. Watch that. It was close. But the strong effort, we got to give him that.
I wish I had a 40-inch vertical.
Wish I had a 30-inch vertical.
I was close in my day. I was close.
Not
that close.
Not almost 50.
Not that close. I couldn't even round up.
That's still staggering just thinking about what he did this summer. And it's been documented. It's been on social media all over the place. Toby had a 49.5-inch vertical leap. I believe it was after practice at the facility. And it's still talked about across the country what he did.
Absolutely.
Needless to say, that is the highest vertical leap on the team. Bamisil made 1 of 2 free throws to cut the lead down to 2 as we're coming up on 12 minutes to go in the first half. Isaiah Richards wearing number 24 in for the first time for the Bulldogs. Stever looks to Richards off the alley-oop. Furman tried to control it and could not. It'll go back to Gardner-Webb.
And Gardner-Webb's doing a really good job of running their offense in the half court. However, I do want VCU to up the ante on the ball pressure. When you do that, you make the pass a half a second later, which gives your teammate that much more time to recover.
Gardner-Webb with the lead. They've led by as many as 5 in this first half. Here's Aldridge sinking the long 2 for his 4th point, and it's a 4-point running Bulldogs lead. Aldridge, the transfer from Belmont Abbey, scored 22 against Akron in his last game as Robinson draws the foul on Bamisil.
And that's a tough break for Robinson there. Sitting a scorer to the free throw line to find his rhythm.
That's the team's 2nd foul, and that'll send Bamisil back to the line. The young man played high school ball in this area at Monacan High School before going to Virginia Tech, and was a standout at GW in his 1 season there with the Colonials before going to Oklahoma.
Joe Bamisil is just one of these one of these guys who is just a complete scorer. He can shoot it from 3. He can get downhill. And I remember Joe Bamisile at George Washington. I remember how athletic he was. He has yet to show it yet, but don't be surprised if he catches a body.
He was a A-10-13 selection in his season at GW, averaged over 16 points and 5 rebounds, and finished 4th in the conference in scoring in that 21-22 campaign as he made all 3 free throws, and Bairstow will come back in to replace him. 1-point Gardner-Webb lead as we're coming up on 12 minutes to go in the first half. Sean Robertson, Ed Nixon, and our entire Rams Unlimited crew the day before New Year's Eve, the final non-conference game of the year for the Rams. Stieber with a clean look from 3, and Sugar grabs the miss. Rams can take the lead on this possession.
VCU got away with a breakdown defensively last possession.
Sugar with the mismatch on Nicholas. Here's Bairstow into the lane, challenging Richardson, scoring. Bairstow has given VCU a 1-point lead. Here's Aldridge with the crossover and the rebound to Billups.
Shifty handle, quick step by Aldridge.
Nelson for 3. Ball back tap to Shoga. Rams get a break there as a good play was made there by Billups. Little pick and roll action, and Shoga takes it all the way. Furman the offensive rebound and will score.
And that's where VCU really can have an advantage. They have an extreme height advantage. So crash the boards. Furman, Toby, Sean Bairstow, get in there and get offensive rebounds.
Rams are +7 on the glass so far, 12-5. They have the advantage. Shot clock is at 10. Here's Aldridge into the lane, and it drops in for Quest Aldridge, now with 6 to lead Gardner-Webb.
And this offense that they're running, it requires you to be in great shape. It's a lot of cuts. It's a lot of movement, back screens, staggers, pin downs. You have to communicate through all of that.
Here's Billups, and Aldridge grabs the miss. Gardner-Webb can retake the lead on this possession. Here's Lazar inside. Rebound to Shoga. Under 10 minutes here in the first half, and Shoga hoists up and nails the triple.
Cinemax. Same production, just at a new company.
He was only shooting 31% from 3 his last 6 games, but he's 2 of 4 this afternoon, and he gives VCU a 4-point lead. Aldridge catch and shoot and hits from the corner. Wes Aldridge now leading all scorers with 9, and it's a 1-point VCU lead.
Wes can get really hot. VCU, you have to stay attached to him. I know it's a lot of screens, but if he gets hot, it spells trouble.
Bairstow off the window. The rebound to Gardner-Webb. Aldridge is 9 of his last 16 from 3 in his last 3 games. Was trying to look for another one. Nice move again by Aldridge on the baseline. And out of bounds to VCU, and that brings us to a timeout. 9 minutes to go in the first half, and VCU with a 1-point lead as you're watching Rams basketball on Masson and on ESPN+. There's a good look at the Gardner-Webb huddle and the head coach. In his 11th season at Gardner-Webb, Tim Kraft, 176 career wins. He led the Bulldogs to their first ever NCAA tournament back in 2019, and actually recorded the largest lead of the tournament at any game in the first round when they played UVA. I was at that game down in Columbia. They had a 14-point first half lead on UVA before the Cavaliers eventually came back and won that game and then won the national title.
March Madness is so crazy. You're going to see stuff like that. I mean, I can attest to that.
Yes, you can. And it's weird that both coaches have ties against UVA. Got changes for both teams after that last timeout as Zeb Jackson comes in, as well as Kwani, who started this afternoon. Badmus gets the entry pass from Robinson, going up against Kwani. Badmus lost it in the air, and then he gets the whistle in his favor. Goes against Kwani.
Now, if I'm Badmus, I have to realize that Kwani, I probably outweigh him by 20, 30 pounds. There's no move I should make that should take me further away from the basket. I should get all the contact I need, get close as I can, and put Kwani in the rim. I digress.
You're going to be generous with the weight advantage. We got Badmus listed as 257, and we got Kwani listed as 200. Whew.
Kwani need to eat some Wheaties.
Now that's, of course, before the holiday season. But that's a nearly 60-pound advantage for Badmus, who will leave as he scores now 5. But I see what you're saying about you got to take advantage of what God gave you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Michael Bell will come in for the first time. He has started all 12 previous games before today. And Fat Billups, who played well in his time on the floor, will take a seat, take a little breather. Game tied at 21. Gardner-Webb showing good effort against VCU early on. Kwani, the touch pass to Bell. And we got a whistle as Bell stepped out of bounds. The Rams' 5th turnover of the first half.
And out of those turnovers, I don't believe any were forced. Just miscues.
Gardner-Webb can retake the lead. They're shooting 42% from the field so far, with DQ Nicholas running the offense. Here's Aldridge off the screen and missed his on the 3. Here's Bairstow, nice crossover on Stieber. Gets his own miss, gets his another miss, and finds 2.
Stat padding.
6 points and 3 rebounds for Mr. Bairstow. Nicholas retrieves it. Badmus still playing good defense on Aldridge as Robinson had his shot blocked.
And great recovery. I thought he had the advantage off that crossover. Great recovery by Michael Bell.
Brings us to a timeout with 7:35 to go in the first half. It's VCU with a 2-point lead on Masson and ESPN+. VCU with a 2-point lead over Gardner-Webb in this back-and-forth affair here in the first half. Sean Robertson, Ed Nixon, our entire Rams Unlimited crew want to wish you and yours a happy and healthy new year. I think last year we were doing a game together. I think we did it on New Year's Eve.
Yep.
And this is the final non-conference game for both teams before they start A-10 and Big South play, respectively. And I don't think the layoffs have really shown either. VCU hadn't played in 8 days. It had been 9 days since Gardner-Webb's last game, that overtime loss to Akron.
Oh, good
pass
good
deflected
hand
by Bairstow, and he kept it in play and saved it for VCU. Inside to Bell and lays it in.
What an outstanding play by Sean Bairstow to get the steal without looking and have the consciousness to tip it ahead of him. It didn't make the good pass to Michael Bell to finish.
And did not hit one piece of equipment to get that done. Kudos to Bairstow right there. Rams with a 4-point lead. Robinson from 3. And Bairstow another rebound. He's played well here this afternoon. Here's Jackson inside. Gardner-Webb now in transition. Here's Nicholas into the lane and will score for Gardner-Webb. His first field goal of the first half.
And again, if you look at VCU, I don't think they sprinted back. They kind of jogged back. And Gardner-Webb is going to make you pay. They play too fast. They need to see all 5 jerseys in front of them.
Bairstow on the move. Bamasil with 4 so far in the first half. Shot clock's under 10. And doesn't get the home bounce. Aldridge with his 3rd rebound. Here's Nicholas all the way. Finds Aldridge, who gives to Robinson.
This is a good matchup, Robinson versus Bell.
Backdoor to Aldridge. Three-pointer on the way by Samara, no good. Nicholas an offensive rebound. And here's Badmus going against Lawal. Scores, and he's fouled.
That was a bang-bang play, but strong finish by Badmus.
Toby was arguing that the elbows were a little high by Badmus, but instead Toby just picked up his second foul. Big foul against VCU there, 2 on Toby.
Well, VCU has the depth to deal with one of their players getting in foul trouble. However, you gotta give Badmus some credit right here. He's really using his physicality, and that's what I alluded to earlier. VCU has a height advantage, but we don't have anybody with the girth of Badmus. So he should continuously bang, and try to get as close to the basket as he can. Calls are needed.
Badmus with 7 points in 7 minutes, now 8. And he will take a seat to be replaced by Isaiah Richards.
And they're giving him a number of breaks. Giving him the break on the defensive end, and letting him work on the offense.
Gardner-Webb with a 1-point lead as we're inside 6 minutes. Bamisil for 3, and he was fouled by Youngblood. So the second time today, Bamisil draws a foul on a 3-point shot.
And as a defender, when you're guarding someone coming off the screen, it's very hard to stop your momentum when somebody like Joe is just catching and rising up off a stagger screen. But you have to be a little bit more disciplined to not lead him to the free throw line.
Bamisil averaging 12 points in his 2 games played this season. 5 of 6 from the line so far in the game. All of his points have come from the stripe. Now 6 of 7 from the stripe. And VCU, this has been a strength for the team all season. They are in the top 20 nationally in free throw percentage. They came in at 77% this year. They're 6 of 7 today, all from Bamisil. And VCU has a 2-point lead, and they come in with pressure. Nicholas pulls up to the elbow.
Great second effort by Jason Nelson. No, he didn't get blocked. No, that won't show up on the stat sheet, but that pays dividends.
Here's Shoga into the lane. Billups gets a wide open look for 3. The rebound to Samaro. Gardner-Webb can tie or take the lead with the 3 in this possession. Nicholas against Nelson. Loses it. And now VCU on the run. Bamisil, a step back 3. Long rebound chased down by Nicholas.
I tell you what, I did not like that shot. And as a coach, if you make it, it's a no, 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 yes. But when you miss it, you just blew an opportunity when you had the advantage.
Rams with a 2-point lead inside 4.5 minutes. Stieber against Bamisil. Contact made, no whistle, and Stieber scores anyway. Stieber now with 5, and Gardner-Webb has tied it at 28. Shoga against Richards. That's a mismatch in Max's favor. Shoga for 3. Ring it up. His 3rd from behind the arc in the half, as he has 9 to lead the Rams, and they're up by 3.
And I know that move has to be on Gardner-Webb's scouting report. Do not allow Max to lull you to sleep to the step back to the left for the 3.
And Nicholas comes back the other end and converts for Gardner-Webb. Rams with a 1-point lead. Here's Nelson with a little stutter step and got just hammered by Richards. He'll go to the free throw line when we come back with 3:32 left. And VCU with a 1-point lead. 3:32 left in the first half, and VCU with a 1-point lead over Gardner-Webb, Sean Robertson, Ed Nixon, a member of the 2011 Final Four team, and our entire Rams Unlimited crew. It's been a pretty good first half for both teams.
It has been. It's been really good. And I said this at the beginning of the game. I think that this game is going to come down to whoever decides to get the stops. Both teams are really rolling right now offensively. VCU's doing a really good job of getting to the free throw line. And Gardner-Webb's run their offense very well and getting the shots they like. Which team can get the stops? That's going to decide who's going to be the victor.
Coach Kraft told us if we can limit the dead ball turnover, or limit the live ball turnovers, and our half-court game is good, we got a chance. And so far, they've been doing that.
Absolutely.
So Jason Nelson at the line for VCU. Converts on the first free throw. He's kind of like the sixth man for Coach Odom this season, a 72% shooter on the year.
And you're right, he is the sixth man for this team. And what he brings is intangibles. You know what I mean? He plays hard, he plays aggressive, he's scrappy. All the things that you would need. He's an energy changer.
I can still remember that play late in the game against Maryland Eastern Shore. He's diving on the floor, keeping a loose ball alive for a teammate, Fats Billups, to score near the end of the game when it was well at hand.
It's important. You need those kind of guys.
And there's Nelson grabbing the loose ball there. Gardner-Webb gets back on defense as they trail by 3 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Shoga, the touch pass to Nelson. Shoga hits another triple.
What a jab step right there.
First player for either team in double figures with 12. And that was a seductive jab step by Max Shoga.
Absolutely. You know it's bad when the defender just stops playing defense.
Stieber in the lane.
All right, you got me.
Bairstow the rebound. He's got 6 boards here in the first half. Bairstow using the Furman screen and scores. And Coach Kraft will burn a timeout.
And Sean Bairstow, if I haven't said it before, he is what this team is missing. He's one of these players that really scores from 3 levels on the court.
It's a 30-second timeout for Coach Kraft as he's talking to the officials about a previous possession and a call that did not go in his favor. But here's that jab step by Shoga.
Look, I gave up.
Seductive.
I like that.
And then Bairstow setting up that screen. It might have been that, thinking that Furman had a moving screen, but to any event, this is all part of a 7-0 VCU run to push their lead to 8.
I don't necessarily believe that was a moving screen because he didn't really move 2-set screen. He was already moving down to the under the basket. Sean Bairstow just made a heads-up play and going back to the position where he started to make the shot. But I'll be upset too about Coach Kraft.
You got the Utah State transfers combining for 5 of the 7 in this run. Bairstow on the last shot, and then Shoga with his 4th made 3 of the half. Samaro, the team's leading scorer. No points scored yet, and 0 of 4 from the field. Aldridge almost had his pocket picked, and he did.
Active hands by VCU.
The extra pass, Bairstow has the mismatch on Samaro, and he's going to be going to the free throw line. They will not give Bairstow the basket.
I really love that about Bairstow's game. He will not force anything, but he's going to take his time. If he has a mismatch, especially height-wise, he's going to take his time, back you down. If nobody comes to help, your barbecue chicken. Shout out to Shaq.
Barbecue chicken.
Nice. Go with the barbecue chicken.
It does. I could as well. 38-30, VCU with the lead. Tried to go behind the back. Nicholas with the loose ball and draws the foul on Zeb. That's Jackson's 2nd. Jason Nelson tried to go behind the back. And Nicholas will get 2 free throws on that last possession.
Just like Shriver at the half-court line, you can't be cute. Don't be cute. Just do what you need to do the right way. The right way will never fail you.
former VCU Ramp David Shriver in attendance, and during one of our breaks, he was the young man picked to give free pizza to those here at the Siegel Center. He did not do that as he missed the half-court shot. He didn't make a layup, a free throw, and a three-point shot.
I can't blame him. He had the nice J's. He had the nice J's on his feet.
And the ones.
Didn't want to crease them. I understand it.
But when you're from half-court, you can't be smooth.
You can't be smooth.
Fans are asking for a free meal.
Yeah, Papa John's.
Yeah. Nicholas made both. A 6-point lead for VCU as we're coming up on 90 seconds left in the first half. Rams have made their last 3 shots from the field. Here's Bamasil into the lane, goes off glass and scores his first field goal in this half. Bamasil with 9. And on the other end, Samaro going up and under and draws the foul.
Again, VCU has to do a better job of everybody sprinting back. It can't be, I have my man. No, everybody has to sprint back so that Gardner-Webb sees 5 VCU jerseys set. Make them run half-court offense. Yes, they had some success with that, but what they really want to do is get out of transition.
One of the fastest, if not the fastest team in the nation as far as tempo was concerned, and Samaro gets the visitors roll for his first point of the afternoon. He came in averaging nearly 15 points a game. That's 6th best in the Big South this season.
VCU has done a really good job of keeping the body on him for this first half at least, but he's going to try to get going second half.
Scored 23 in the overtime loss to Akron in their last game. He's got 2 so far, and VCU up 7 as we're near at the 1-minute mark. Nelson off a screen, short on the 3. Aldridge the rebound. Here's Nicholas into the lane and scores off the window. DQ Nicholas now with 9, and just like that, it's a 4-point VCU lead.
Again, in transition.
Bamasil looked for Furman and is fouled. That's going to go against Richards. Transfer from Louisiana Lafayette. Last foul to give with 38.3 seconds to go in the half. Bairstow looks inside to Bamasil and he scores again in tight.
Excellent execution. Right there. Screen and a roll back.
11 for Joe Bamasil. Shoga has 12. Bairstow with 8. Key additions to the lineup this offseason for VCU, and they've combined to score over 30 of the 42 VCU points. Shot clock is down to 3. Nicholas doesn't get it off. Shot clock violation.
Great defense by VCU right there. I think Gardner-Webb was a little bit too unselfish. I thought when Aldridge came off, he should have looked for his shot a little bit more there, especially with the shot clock winding down to pass it back out. The 2 seconds for someone to create.
And they're going to reset the game clock to about 4.4, I believe. And they're going to check that out as well. But Coach Odom will use his use it or lose it timeout to design a play to get a good shot before half. There's Coach Odom.
You have 3 guys to go to right now. 3 guys that have a pretty good half. Max Shola, of course. Joe Bamasil getting free the line. And Bairstow. Now, you use somebody as a decoy, get something in the middle of the paint or middle of the court, try to make one pass to get a shot up.
You could. Jason Nelson could be that decoy to get to the lane and get an open look for one of those 3. They've combined for 31 of the 42 points in this first half. And they've all done it in different ways. Like Bamasil has gone to the line, as you mentioned, he's 7 of 8. Sugar, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Bairstow, 8 points, 6 rebounds, and a steal.
That's an amazing. Now, mind you, the rest of your starters really haven't given you much yet.
Right.
So you got to be happy with that, and that's one of the things we spoke about last game. VCU has so much depth. Every game is going to be somebody else's turn to step up.
Game clock has been reset to 4.4, and Nelson will inbound. To Sugar. Sugar goes right to the lane against Badmiss, and he couldn't get it to drop. Great play design there by Coach Odom. They got the shot they wanted, just didn't drop. And if you're VCU right now, you're looking pretty good as you're up 6 at the half. And coming up after the break, we'll have halftime activities from the Siegel Center here on Masson and on ESPN+. To the member of the 2011 Final Four team, what do you want to see from VCU to start this segment?
For VCU, I want to see them put emphasis on transition defense, limiting the opportunities for Gardner-Webb, and offensively, I want to see them get inside and get to the rack and put some pressure on the rim.
And if you're Gardner-Webb, the keys that Coach Kraft told us earlier this week, they've come to fruition. They've handled the live ball turnovers, they've limited those, and then their half-court game has gone pretty well for them.
Absolutely. However, they still find themselves within a 6-point deficit. I don't think you abandon ship. You continue to do what you do. However, your offensive shot, your offensive selection, and your decision-making has to be at an all-time high.
Starting 5 for both teams back on the floor. Zeb Jackson with his 2 fouls, along with Sean Bairstow, Max Shoga, Kwani, and Kristen Furman. Kwani did not attempt a shot in the first 20 minutes. See if they'll try to get him on track here to start the second. Here's Bairstow underneath and gets the home bounce, and he is now in double figures for the second straight game. He's got 10.
And just such a smooth, relaxed player. Get into the low block, bumping the defender to get him off bounce and create some space, teardropping into the bucket.
What a big addition he's going to be for conference play for VCU. They look inside to Badmiss, and he scores. Badmiss now with 10, comes in averaging a little over 4 points a game, so he's gone over his season average here today as the Bulldogs are down 6.
Now, I think there was a breakdown in communication. If Furman is going to be fronting.
Alley-oop was deflected by Badmiss. Gardner-Webb on the run.
If Furman is going to be fronting on the post, then you have to have help side.
Robinson to Nicholas. Nicholas charging into Furman. Offensive rebounder Robinson. His teardropper doesn't fall. And Kwani the rebound. Here's Bairstow going off the glass. Bairstow now with a dozen to match Max Shoga. And VCU's up 8.
Now the question is, can VCU string together some stops?
Samaro with a tough shot that falls for his first field goal of the game. He was 0 for 4 from the field in the first half. Now with 4, and Gardner-Webb is within 6.
Some guys are tough shot takers. He's a tough shot maker.
Bairstow for 3. Furman an offensive rebound, and fouled by Nicholas. Yeah, Samaro was having some trouble in the first half, especially with multiple guys on him. But he finally saw one to fall, and that might be giving him some confidence.
Absolutely, that might be what he needed. However, when you're playing VCU, you're playing guys 6'5" and taller, using their length and their athleticism against you. Samaro's an undersized guard. It's going to be tough for him. But if he can make some of these tough shots, where his teammates can get some drive penetration and get him some easy ones, he can get going in the second half.
Jackson with the inbound. Here's Bairstow underneath. Good head fake on Robinson and scores.
Again, smooth.
He's got all the points for VCU in this half. He's now with 14. Here's Aldridge in the lane. Lawal with the rebound. Rams up by 8 and looking for more. Here's Bairstow over Robinson. And the rebound to Richards.
Good job of getting back and setting the wall.
Samaro misfires on the 3, out of bounds to VCU.
And I also like the sub that Coach Odom just made to put Toby Lawal in this game, because he brings that extra bit of energy that they really needed to make a run right here.
Bairstow with 14 points, Sugar with 12, Bamisil with 11 so far. The lob to Lawal, who brings it home.
And on cue.
Thought you were going to say it. Toby-Wan Kenobi.
Because he's a Skywalker.
VCU with a 10-point lead now, as Richards underneath got fouled. And Coach Odom, you may have heard him say no on that last trip, as I think Kwani got called for his second foul.
Whether he got ball or not doesn't matter. But when you reach in and you have your hand coming down, it can appear like a foul, and that's what the referee sees. It's an easy call from the ref.
So Isaiah Richards, the transfer from Louisiana Lafayette, played in 69 games over 3 seasons there before transferring to Gardner-Webb. Came in shooting 67% from the line, as Bamisil will come in to replace Bairstow. He'll get a little breather with his 14 points.
You gotta like the production out the gate in the second half for Sean Bairstow.
Richards with one more at the line. Had a big game against Akron in the Bulldogs' last game. 13 points, 9 rebounds, and was perfect from the field. 5th time this season he did not miss a field goal in a game. VCU up 9. Bamisil with a little 2-man game on Lawal. Goes off the glass and scores. Tough shot by Bamisil.
Showing a little love to the cameraman.
He did.
Give me that.
And a block on the other end by Lawal.
You have to be a little bit more creative when you're going up against somebody like Toby Lawal, excuse me.
And Shoga just drew a foul on Robinson. Go back to the last play by Bamisil.
Extremely tough finish falling away from the basket. Good control.
And then Toby, he's going to fly into your screen.
And as a Gardner-Webb player, come to a 2-foot stop, show the pump fake, Toby Lawal probably flies out your picture.
Bamisil off the screen. There's Lawal yanking down a rebound, goes up and scores again.
Again, you have to put a body on him. If you do not, he's going to soar over.
Ball out of bounds. It'll stay with Gardner-Webb as we bring a timeout to you with 15:54 left in the game. VCU slowly pulling away as they're leading by 13. 15:54 left in regulation, and VCU with a 13-point lead over Gardner-Webb, based on them outscoring the Bulldogs 12-5 here in this half. And Sean Bairstow is a big reason why, as he scored 6 of the 12 Rams points after halftime.
Absolutely. But I think where VCU's had the most success is their bench points. If you look at it, VCU scored 23 bench points compared to Gardner-Webb's 4. That's a big difference.
And more than half has come from Bairstow, as Nelson had his strip. Stieber got it back to Nichols, who misses on the 3. And we've got a tie-up between Batmus and Toby, and the arrow will favor Gardner-Webb. Bulldogs struggling from the field. They're 1 for their last 7. And during this run, VCU has limited opponents in the second half. There have been some stretches where the opponents have been ice cold from the field. Nicholas doesn't get the bounce. Lawal with his 5th rebound.
And if you look at this lineup, this is the lineup that Coach Odom had in towards the end of the first half, and I think he took a liking to it. With his 2 Utah State players, Toby Lawal with energy, Jay Nelson bringing energy, and just a scoring machine in Joe Bairstow.
Another alley-oop as Toby Lawal brings it home for a second time in this half. 8 for Toby, and the 3rd assist for Bairstow, and a 15-point VCU lead. Aldridge in for the first time this half. He had 9 in the first half. Had it blocked by Bamisil. Gets it
Blocked
back
again.
And Bamisil was close to getting the tap. But the official did not get the tap on that one. And it was close.
And I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Because in basketball in general, the guys have to be allowed to show some emotion. It's a competitive sport. Allow them to be competitive. I like the jawing. I like the smack talking. I like that type of stuff.
Off the inbound with 1 to shoot. And Lawal went over Bairstow to get the rebound.
Almost sat on their shoulders.
Here's Bairstow. 15-point VCU lead on a 6-0 run in this half. Here's Bamisil, a step back 3. Shot an air ball, and Gardner-Webb will get it back.
Again, another forced shot. You don't really need it. You know, I understand the score and what just happened down the other side, but run your offense. Get a great look. That's how you continue to beat teams.
Like that last possession on the alley-oop to Toby. Great assist by Bairstow and another steal. Here's Nelson waiting for teammates. Here's Shoga for 3. Ring it up. 5 threes from Max Shoga, and Coach Kraft will use a timeout. Largest VCU lead of the night at 18. 59-41. Back after this on Masson and on ESPN Plus. A 9-0 VCU run has expanded their lead to 18 over Gardner-Webb. This game was close at halftime. Rams were 42-36 at the break. And since then, a 17-5 spurt to begin the half has him up 18 at Nelson.
Absolutely. It came on the defensive end. You know, I said that the team that was going to win this game is going to be the team that can string together some stops. And VCU has done that. And not only are they doing that, they're running their offense through Sean Bairstow, and he's taking his time shooting forward to follow defenders, which led to great ball movement and transition for VCU.
Another ball handler, another guy that can run this offense. Bairstow knows his offense like the back of his hand as he played with Coach Odom at Utah State. VCU up 18 right now. Robinson trying to get Gardner-Webb on track. They've missed their last 9 shots from the field. Robinson with the reverse, and Toby Lawal with his 7th rebound this afternoon.
That was a good drive, trying to force the issue there. I wish he would try to get some contact, get to the free throw line, slow the pace down. You know that's against what they want to do. But as of right now, you need something to stop this VCU run.
Bamisil off the screen, hits the triple. 16 for Bamisil, and the lead's at 21. Lazar for 3. Gets his own miss, goes off the glass and scores. Lazar's first field goal of the afternoon, the transfer from New Mexico State. Here it is, another alley-oop.
Oh!
Toby bringing it home one more time.
Toby Kenobi. This may not go with the Star Wars reference, but Luke, I am your father.
And on the other end, he got called for goaltending, but let's go back to that last one. Oh, my goodness.
Man.
Total disregard for human life. He's the 4th player in double figures this afternoon. Bamisil with 16, Shoga 15, Bairstow 14, and Lawal with 10. Nelson from straight away. Lawal the offensive rebound. Lawal's got 8 boards so far. Here's Jackson looking for Lawal in the lane. Partially blocked by Robinson, who grabbed the loose ball. His teammates on the bench was thinking that Toby was going to flush that home.
Yeah. He's one of those players that every time he touches the ball, you think something exciting is going to happen.
Aldridge against Jackson. Great defense there by Zeb. Shot clock is under 10. Here's Robinson, gets the contact, and will go to the line. And he'll do so when we come back as VCU leads 64-45 on Masson and on ESPN+. Our Virginia Credit Union assists of the game, one of several alley-oops from Bairstow to Toby Lawal.
Just really good executed offense. Sean Bairstow did a really good job throwing off that screen to crack the two defenders, leaving nothing but air and space. Throw the ball up to the wall to finish it.
Great balance by VCU this afternoon with 4 players in double figures, led by Joe Bamasil, 16 points. As Caleb Robinson is at the line for Gardner-Webb and converts on his first attempt now with 6. Came in averaging 13.4 this season. And then we've got a foul on the baseline, and I think that's going to go against Kwani.
Great job by Richards. Being physical there, fighting for the ball.
Kwani just picked up his 3rd foul as now Christian Furman will come in now for VCU to replace Kwani. Gardner-Webb, 2 made field goals in their last 13 shots. Here's Aldridge getting the friendly roll on the road, his 11th point in the game, and it's now a 64-48 VCU lead. Nelson in the corner. Out of bounds to Gardner-Webb. Coach Odom thought that a Gardner-Webb player back tapped it out. The officials say otherwise.
It did appear that way. They have a better vision than I do. So
Anthony Jordan, Ben Sturt, and Mike Eady's, actually Tony Eady's, Mike Eady's son, the officials this afternoon. Aldridge from 3. And he will hear it from Ram Nation on the air ball. As Max Shoga will come in. We mentioned at the top of the broadcast, VCU, last 4 games, they scored at least 75 points. And during the stretch, they've scored 80 or more in 3 of those games. Pass stolen away by Richards for Gardner-Webb.
And it looks as if they're on track to do that right now, but they have to stop Gardner-Webb from getting going right here. Couple turnovers, couple offensive rebounds by Gardner-Webb. They're not going to go anywhere. They're going to continue to fight.
Richards showing the range and hitting the triple. His first made 3-pointer this season. And it's a 13-point Gardner-Webb lead. They're not Gardner-Webb deficit. They're not going away right now. Bamasil on the drive to Bairstow in the lane. Nice 2-man game between those two, and now Bairstow with 16, which broke a 8-0 run for Gardner-Webb. Nicholas is trapped. That's going to be a backcourt as they will let it roll out of bounds.
Great decision to trap there by Zeb Jackson and Christian Furman.
And because the ball went out of bounds on the baseline to our right, VCU will inbound it from near their goal.
I thought the Gardner-Webb player, I can't remember exactly who it was, but they should have chased the ball just to get the backcourt so they wouldn't start under the basket.
Bamasil off the screen, got fouled, and they're going to call an offensive foul. They're going to call an offensive foul on Bamasil, and the 3-point shot will not count as he used the old Reggie Miller leg kick to create space.
See, it's always very tricky when it comes to those, when you're curling towards the ball. It's kind of a natural movement to kick your legs in that aspect.
Wow, that looked like just a normal motion there by Bamisiel.
Tough break.
I thought that was going to be a 4-point play. Instead, it's Bamisiel's first foul and wiping out the 3-point shot. Samaro. Pass is taken away, and a foul inside. Tough foul to go against VCU with 2 to shoot.
The refs did a really good job of not getting on the bad side of the Ram fans. But this stretch here.
You don't want to do that here. This fan base will let you know about that from the moment that call is made to the end of the game.
Right.
Here's Robinson. Samara for 3. Robinson grabs the rebound for Gardner-Webb in a reset. Here's Nicholas into the lane, and a great defensive play by Sugar that caused a turnover. Knocked it off from Nicholas's knee, and VCU will get it back. And now a foul in the backcourt on Nicholas. Only the 8th Gardner-Webb turnover this afternoon.
I think both teams did a really good job of taking care of the ball. 8 for Gardner-Webb, and I believe 8 or 7 for VCU.
Rams up 15. Jackson for 3. Stieber the rebound for Gardner-Webb. Richards has it against Lawal. Lawal has 3 fouls. Goes with the hook shot and scores, plus the foul. And they're going to call Lawal with the foul.
And Coach Odom is not happy about that call.
I think he's got a right to be. I think Toby stood his ground well enough not to get that foul on him. Richards is starting to warm up for the Bulldogs. 6 points all in this half. And converts the 3-point play as now Badness will replace him.
And I think Richards did a really good job of just bringing energy and effort the second half. And it wasn't there the first half.
Gardner-Webb down 12 inside 9 minutes. Good ball movement by the Rams. Here's Sugar in the lane. Jackson a wide open 3. And the rebound to Gardner-Webb. They can get it to single digits with the 3 as Robinson takes it coast to coast and scores. And now Coach Odom still on the official on the last couple of possessions as he uses the timeout. The Rams up 10 here on Masson and on ESPN+. Gardner-Webb in the midst of a 13-2 run over nearly 4.5 minutes to pull within 10 of VCU, 66-56. Sean Robertson makes it a member of the 2011 Final 14. How has Gardner-Webb got back to within 10 after being down by as many as 21?
By keeping their head down and continuously working. They're playing extremely hard. And, you know, it's natural for a team once you get up to a certain, like get up 20 points, to kind of relax. Gardner-Webb has no quit in them. They're going to continue to play the way that they play, fast, hard, aggressive, throughout all 40 minutes. VCU had that timeout. It's time to calm yourself down, get back locked in, and close the game out. Or we could be looking at upset.
Jackson, Shoga, Bamisiel, Bairstow, and Toby Lawal on the floor for VCU. Nicholas, along with Stieber, Badness, Robinson, and Samaro for Gardner-Webb. Ball was kicked, and the shot clock will go back to 20. It's probably wild to say this now from a few minutes ago when VCU was up 21, but this is a big possession here for the Rams.
Absolutely. You don't want the momentum swinging any further than it already has.
Inbounds to Bairstow. Uses the lean and finds 2. 18 for Bairstow, and the lead back to 12.
And when we're going through a game like this where momentum is swinging heavily, you need a player like Sean Bairstow who can calm the sails.
Samara with 3 up fakes. Nobody bid on him. Lawal got the block. Gardner-Webb gets it back with under 6 to shoot. Here's Robinson to Stieber. Inside the arc and misses on the shot. Lawal got yanked down by Badmus and was fouled by the junior from out of Massachusetts.
And if you're VCU, that's how you respond defensively. Going out there and making it extremely tough for them to get any clean looks. You got this. You got your score. Now, get another score, another stop.
Lawal just recorded his 9th rebound. Gets the pass inside from Bairstow and scores. He's 1 rebound shy of another double-double, which will be his 3rd in his career. He's got 12 and 9 boards as VCU's up 14. And look at the size on the floor for VCU as well. Samaro for 3. And Toby Lawal gets his 10th board.
Bring him up.
3rd career double-double for Toby. And from behind, Robinson gets the steal. Robinson goes up against Toby Lawal. Ball is knocked out of bounds by Gardner-Webb last.
Good job by Toby Lawal holding his ground. And I like the aggression from Robinson, too. And that's how, when you're playing somebody who is a shot blocker, that's how you do it. You go into their chest to shoot over the top.
Lawal ranked in the top 20 in the A10 in blocks per game this season. Just behind Christian Furman, who leads the team in block shots. VCU up 14 inside 6.5 minutes. 10 to shoot for the Rams. Bairstow gets the home bounce again. Bairstow with 20 on the afternoon.
And right now, Gardner-Webb playing this zone, it's like taking a candy from a baby, having Bairstow in the middle.
Here's Badmus inside, and he scores. Badmus with 12 for Gardner-Webb. They're down 14. The last possession for VCU, Bairstow just matched his career high with 20. Got met up by Badmus. And the Rams look to go to Lawal, who brings it home again.
Good no look by Max Shoulder right there.
On the other end is Badmus, who had it blocked by Toby. Bamisil for 3, ring it up. And Coach Kraft will use a timeout.
And you got it. These are one of the things you have to deal with when you have a score on your team. He's gonna take those shots. And he misses them, you're like, please don't take that again. But when he takes it and makes it, it can be a very big momentum swing.
Coach Kraft uses a 30-second timeout. And Toby Lawal bringing the pain for VCU. 14 points, 10 boards, and 3 blocks on both ends of the floor. And then Bamisil coming right back. If nobody's going to guard me, I'll just shoot. Ed Nixon did that back in his day. If I ain't going to be guarded, I'm just going to heave one up.
I'm going to let it go. But you got to love the effort from Toby Lawal, doing it on both ends. A lot of guys, they're either I'm an offensive player or I'm a defensive player. Toby Lawal is finding a way to impact both sides of the court, and that's huge.
Looking at the stat sheet, Bairstow 20.6 rebounds, 5 assists. Toby 14-10, 3 blocks. Max 15, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Bamisil 19 points, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks. This is what the A2 will see moving forward.
And with that being said, you still have guys out there who contribute. Zev Jackson, again, another low-scoring night. He doesn't really have to do anything.
No. It's Struggling in front of the field, but he's doing other things. I mean, he's really made it hard for Samaro to get an open shot today.
Absolutely.
Samaro is 1 of 9 from the field and has scored only 4 points. And he has it now against Shoga. Bounce pass to Aldridge. Gets a clean look for 3. And the rebound to Shoga on the back tap. Here's Jackson, who goes baseline, goes with the up and under. And Gardner-Webb picks it up. Samaro, the extra pass to Stieber, who hits the 3.
Great execution right there. Dropping baseline, you should always have the outlet in the corner.
8 for Stieber. And it's a 16-point VCU lead as we're inside money time here in the second half. Looked inside to Furman, and he was held by Stieber.
And I don't know if you've seen this right there, but Bairstow realized the situation, said, Furman, come set the screen. Come set the screen. Knowing that he was going to get the switch and had the height advantage for Furman right there, leading to a foul. Heads up play by Sean Bairstow.
Jackson will come out, and Bamasil is on the floor with Nelson, Shoga, Bairstow, and Furman. As Nelson will inbound. And they left Shoga open, but he didn't take the 3. He goes right into the lane with the right hand, gets his own miss, and scores. 17 for Max, and it's an 18-point VCU lead. Samaro got fouled by Nelson on the 3-point shot. And that brings us to our last timeout. 3:58 left. VCU up 79-68 on Masson and ESPN Plus. 79-61, the VCU lead over Gardner-Webb. 3:58 left in regulation. Final non-conference game for the Rams. And I think in this stretch, Ed Nixon, with Christmas break, they having more time to practice with each other. The addition of Bamasil, the addition of Bairstow, I think they're slowly getting to know this team as a whole.
Well, absolutely. And it's one of these things where they still have a long way to go as far as learning each other. That's why you'll see Kwani with 0 points today, Zeb Jackson with 3, Jay Nelson only with a couple of points. It's going to take time to feel comfortable in the spots that you're going to get. With basically, with having two impact players come back, it's basically a new team again. So they have to learn each other, and I think they're on the way to do that.
Samaro is really struggling today. He's already missed his first 2 attempts from the line on that 3-point foul.
Well, they say the ball doesn't lie, and I thought that was the same call that Joe had with the leg being kicked out. So
1 made free throw for Samaro with 5 points on the afternoon on 1 of 9 shooting from the field. And he came in averaging nearly 15 a night and a turnover. The 11th committed by VCU this afternoon.
Miscommunication there. I think Sean wanted to get the ball across half court and wanted to lead Joe, and Joe was just happened to be planted at the time.
Here's Aldridge into the lane. That might have been partially blocked by Bamasil. And Bairstow has it with VCU up by 17. Bairstow falling away and getting another friendly roll. And now has eclipsed his career high as he scored 22.
And it's just so easy. If you're going to guard him with someone small, unathletic, he's going to take his time, get to a spot, and shoot over the top.
Here's Samaro. Tough shot, and it falls as he got it over the outreach of Furman. Inside 3 minutes with VCU up by 17. Shoga off the screen, goes with the left-hand scoop. Stieber grabs it. Samaro pulls up and misses on the 3. And then gets the foul.
Samaro's trying to protect that average. Let it go.
Last foul to give for Gardner-Webb. Samaro 2 of 11 from the field. And he wasn't a bad shooter from the field before today. 43% from the field, 38% from 3. But he has yet to make one from distance and is 2 of 11 from the field.
And that's all VCU's defense. Zeb Jackson, Jay Nell, Max Shoga, all 3 different type of defenders, all being thrown at Samaro. He couldn't find a rhythm tonight.
And all come at you differently with the length of Shoga and Jackson, the quick hands of Nelson, and Bamesil bringing it home.
And I told you, he's sneaky athletic, ladies and gentlemen.
21 for Joe Bamesil, and now Zeb Jackson knew he did it, got the foul.
Did a good job of containing the dribbles. But sometimes you just get a little bit greedy, stick your hand in the cookie jar, and the ref caught him.
Oatmeal raisin, right?
Oatmeal raisin cookie, grandma's favorite.
Bairstow will get a much-deserved rest for the final 2:08 as he eclipsed his career high now with 22 points. Joe Bamesil is 13th 20-point-plus game in his career as he has 21 this afternoon as Aldridge sinks the first free throw. Remember, he had 9 in the first half.
He got out to a really hot start.
He did.
He got a really hot start. And I really like his game. He's not only a shooter. He can put the ball on the floor and create for himself.
Number 5,
Badmus will come in to replace Isaiah Richards. Richards actually had a solid game for Gardner-Webb with 7 points. And Badmus was playing well in the first half as well. VCU come in with a little bit of pressure. We're facing a little bit of pressure. As we're inside 2 minutes in regulation. Here's Jackson getting the step and going with the reverse.
And I think that might be good for Zeb Jackson to try to find a way where he can contribute offensively with the success of Joe Bamesil.
Lost control. Here's Nelson up ahead to Jackson, who brings it home. Seven for Zeb Jackson on back-to-back baskets. And then a foul as Nicholas was driving to the hoop. Jason Nelson gets called for the foul. That's his third. Sorry.
No, it's okay. And like I was saying, Zeb Jackson, second leading scorer on the team, and for the second game, he's in single digits. And I think that's attributed to all the other success around him. So he has to try to find a way where he can still contribute offensively while having Joe Bamesil out there shooting the lights out. Sean Bairstow controlling things from three-point line in, and Max doing what Max does. So it's going to be a learning process for all these guys.
Well, the other thing, Nelson, before Bairstow and Bamesil entered the lineup, he was the team's third leading scorer. He was averaging nearly 9 points a game. He was getting some good looks, but he's changed up his game a little bit now with those 2 additions. Now he's doing things on the defensive end and also assisting. He's got 4 assists here in this game. So like you said, other guys who were seeing more minutes, getting more, their roles were different. Now they've got to adjust when you got guys that know the system and are back in the lineup. Almost a steal by Gardner-Webb as Nelson and Stieber were tied up, and VCU gets the arrow.
And Zeb has to be careful catching the ball in the coffin corner. And then he did a cardinal sin. He took one dribble and picked the ball up. That's a big no-no. VCU got away with one right there, being that the possession was in their favor.
Got Roosevelt Wheeler and Michael Bell in the lineup now for the final 75 seconds. Fats Billups, Jason Nelson, and Zeb Jackson. Billups, Wheeler, and Nelson all played AAU ball together with Team Loaded, a great AAU program here in the Richmond area. Zeb Jackson lost it. We're at 1 minute.
1 minute remaining.
Stieber for 3 and hits it for Gardner-Webb. 4th Bulldog in double figures now as Stieber has scored 11.
And this game kind of went exactly how I thought it would. It'd be a close game at half. The VCU would assert their dominance and impose their will on Gardner-Webb.
Jackson for 3. Wheeler had it, lost it, and Nicholas has it for Gardner-Webb as we're inside a half minute. Robinson into the lane and scores for Gardner-Webb. Robinson now with 10, so 5 players in double figures for Gardner-Webb. And VCU doesn't even have to shoot. They will match their season high in points with 87 and will win their 4th in a row to go into A10 play 8-5 on the year. As Bell will hold it. That will signal the end of a VCU 87-73 win to go to 8-5 on the year.
And again, what a great performance by VCU. The ability to show so much depth is a beautiful thing moving forward into the A10.
We'll come back and wrap it up on Masson and on ESPN+.
If someone you know